Welcome to my channel, guys. If you're new here, I'm guessing you are here because of what the title says. It's a little series for CapCut PC and for those who are just starters, and I will begin with the basics here. Let's start and don't skip the video. I'm opening CapCut PC and starting with a messy timeline on purpose because this is exactly how most beginners edit. Clips are placed randomly, tracks are stacked without any plan, and nothing feels organized. If your edits look confusing or unprofessional, this is almost always the reason. Most people blame effects or transitions, but the real problem starts much earlier, right here in the timeline. The timeline is the foundation of your entire edit. Everything you see in the final video is controlled from this area. Your video clips, text, overlays, transitions, and effects all live here. If you don't understand how the timeline works, adding more effects will only make things worse, not better. This vertical line you see moving across the timeline is called the playhead. The playhead shows the exact frame your audience is watching at that moment. Wherever the playhead is, that's what appears in the preview window. Understanding this is extremely important because every cut, every effect, and every text placement depends on where the playhead is positioned. Now let's talk about tracks, because this is where many beginners get completely lost. The bottom track is always your main video. Think of it as the base layer of your edit. Anything you place above this, whether it's another video clip, an image, or text, becomes an overlay. CapCut shows the top layers first, which means track order always matters. If you ever add text or an overlay and it doesn't show up, it's usually not a bug. It's because that layer is hidden under another track. This is why understanding track order is more important than learning fancy effects early on. When I turn layers on and off, notice how the final image changes immediately. This shows you exactly how CapCut reads the timeline from bottom to top. Once you understand this, you'll stop wasting time wondering why something isn't visible. Another huge mistake beginners make is editing while zoomed out. When the timeline is zoomed out, clips become very small, and it's almost impossible to make precise cuts. Your edits start to feel off, but you don't know why. The reason is simple. You can't time something properly if you can't see it properly. Editing is about small decisions. A few frames too early or too late can completely change the feel of an edit. That's why zooming into the timeline is not optional, it's necessary. Now that the timeline is zoomed in, everything becomes clearer. You can see exactly where each clip starts and ends. You can align clips properly, remove empty gaps, and make sure nothing feels rushed or delayed. A clean timeline almost always creates a clean edit, even before adding any effects. Let's talk about workflow, because this is where many people slow themselves down. Beginners often add clips, effects, transitions, and text all at the same time. This makes the timeline messy very quickly, and it becomes hard to fix mistakes later. The correct order is simple and professional. First, decide which clips you want to use. Second, cut and arrange those clips in the right order. Third, make sure the timing feels right. Only after that should you start adding effects, transitions, and text. Here's an example of what happens when effects are added too early. The edit feels overwhelming, unfocused, and hard to watch. Even if the effects themselves are good, the edit still doesn't feel clean. Now I remove the effects completely and focus only on arranging the clips properly. Notice how the edit already feels smoother, even without adding anything fancy. This is the power of a well-organized timeline. Most professional editors spend more time cutting and arranging than adding effects. Effects are just decoration. The timeline is the structure. If you master the timeline in CapCut PC, everything else becomes easier. Transitions make more sense, text placement becomes natural, effects actually improve the edit instead of hiding mistakes. In the next video, I'll show you how to choose the right clips before you even place them on the timeline, because even the best timeline can't save bad footage. If you want your edits to improve fast, this step-by-step approach is the only reliable way. Thank you for watching. I hope it helps you, and give it a like, comment, and subscribe if you found it helpful.